Hey Steelers fans! Today we're diving into everything that unfolded in Pittsburgh's recent clash on the gridiron. And let me tell you, it was a game that reminded us why this team's spirit never quits, no matter how unpredictable the season has been. Walking into the locker room after the final whistle, you could feel an energy that was different from anything we'd seen in weeks. There was a quiet intensity, a mix of relief and satisfaction on the faces of players who had poured everything into every play. Patrick Freiermuth was there, quietly observing from a corner, clearly absorbing the gravity of what had just transpired. He wasn't someone you'd expect to seek attention after a big game, but there was a nod, a subtle gesture, a recognition that football conversations were still welcome. And that's exactly what we did. We talked football. We talked about the execution, the connection between units, the timing and precision that only comes when a team finally clicks together. It was one of those rare moments where everything aligned. The offense, the defense, the special teams, the coaching. All the pieces fitting together in a way that left no doubts about the level of commitment and talent on display. December football can be brutal, and the timing couldn't have been more critical. This was more than a regular season contest. It was a defining statement with playoffs looming on the horizon. For a team that had faced turbulence all season, the ability to put together a complete game at this stage felt monumental. The Steelers didn't just execute. They dominated in a way that sent a message to the division, to the league, and to their fans who had been waiting for a performance that reaffirmed their faith. From the first snap, it was clear that every player had embraced the physicality of the game. The Dolphins came in with a reputation for toughness, looking to make their mark, but the Steelers' response was immediate and relentless. Hits were delivered, blocks were fought for, and momentum was seized early. Players like Jaylen Warren and Kenny Gainwell absorbed contact with an almost defiant energy, bouncing back instantly and driving the offense forward. It wasn't just about taking hits. It was about giving as much as they took and then some. There was a mindset present on the field that this was about more than statistics or individual accolades. It was about collective perseverance and proving that no challenge was too great to overcome. The rookies were learning the rhythm, the veterans were setting the tone, and the entire team was operating as a single, cohesive unit. Defense was another story entirely, showcasing the Steelers' ability to neutralize threats that had been causing problems all season. Devin Akan, for example, who had been a consistent weapon for the Dolphins, found his opportunities drastically reduced by the sheer tenacity and anticipation of Pittsburgh's defensive squad. Jalen Ramsey and Patrick Queen made game-changing plays, demonstrating a mixture of strategic positioning and raw athleticism that left no room for error. Even with key absences like T.J. Watt and Derek Harmon, the defense proved it could step up, maintain discipline, and force the opposition into mistakes that would shift the flow of the game. On the offensive side, moments of brilliance were peppered throughout, from precise passing to explosive runs that kept the momentum alive. Aaron Rodgers' composure in the pocket and his timing with receivers like Marquez Valdes-Scantling created scoring opportunities that seemed almost effortless, yet were built on a foundation of preparation and trust between quarterback and team. Each touchdown, each first down, each strategic adjustment was a testament to the coaching staff's ability to adapt mid-game and to the players' execution under pressure. Special teams contributed in critical ways as well, ensuring that every facet of the game supported the team's overarching goal, victory. Plays that might have been overlooked in other contexts became decisive in securing field position, momentum, and morale. The connection between these efforts and the crowd's energy was undeniable. The fans, after a season of mixed emotions, erupted at key moments, creating a feedback loop that elevated the players' intensity and further emphasized the significance of each play. Seeing the impact on the home crowd, players responded with bursts of determination, feeding off the energy and reinforcing the sense that this game was about more than just points on a scoreboard. It was a celebration of identity, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of excellence that defines Pittsburgh football. Each individual battle on the field was met with commitment, from linemen pushing the line to receivers finding seams in coverage, all converging toward a collective achievement that reflected the team's core values. Moments like the touchdowns by Jonnu Smith and the explosive plays by Darnell Washington were emblematic of a team firing on all cylinders. These weren't isolated successes. They were outcomes of preparation, cohesion, and a mentality that refused to yield. The running backs, in particular, displayed a blend of toughness and strategy that highlighted the team's philosophy. Take what's given, deliver more, and never let fatigue or intimidation dictate performance. The physicality of the game was matched by mental fortitude, as players communicated constantly, adjusted to the opposing defense, and executed with precision. There was no hesitation, no second-guessing, only a commitment to the plan and to each other. Watching these sequences unfold, it became clear that the Steelers were rediscovering a rhythm that had been elusive in earlier weeks, a rhythm built on trust, skill, and the relentless pursuit of the end goal. Each play, each decision, each adjustment was a testament to the coaching staff's ability to cultivate a winning mentality, even amidst adversity. Coach Mike Tomlin's influence was evident throughout the game, guiding strategy and making key decisions that demonstrated both flexibility and adherence to core principles. The choice to pursue the tush-push in critical situations, for example, showed a willingness to adapt and innovate, to challenge norms and extract maximum performance from the team. Decisions like these, often the product of experience and intuition, highlighted how leadership can shape outcomes in subtle but powerful ways. Players responded with commitment, executing plays with trust in the game plan and in each other. The synergy between coach and athletes, between units, and between the team and its fans created a momentum that transcended individual performances. It was football at its most dynamic, physical, strategic, and deeply emotional, with each moment building toward the crescendo of victory. The locker room after the game was alive with celebration, but it wasn't just about scoring. It was about pride, about asserting identity, and about laying the groundwork for what comes next. Players sprinted upstairs, shouted to the air, and reveled in the collective achievement. The performance wasn't flawless, but it was complete in a sense that mattered most. Big plays were made, challenges were met head-on, and the team proved that cohesion, discipline, and relentless effort could overcome obstacles that had seemed insurmountable earlier in the season. Pittsburgh was reminded of what it means to be a Steeler, and the team had reaffirmed that connection with their fans in a way that went far beyond the scoreboard. The game had been a testament to resilience, to strategic execution, and to the undeniable bond between players, coaches, and the city they represent. As the Steelers regrouped after that monumental win, you could feel the weight of the season pressing on everyone, but also the renewed confidence that comes from a team rediscovering its identity. The players knew that victories like this weren't just about the points on the board. They were about setting a tone for what lay ahead. Every position group, from the offensive line to the defensive backs, had contributed to a performance that spoke volumes about resilience, preparation, and mental toughness. Watching Patrick Freiermuth work through his own reflections on the field, you realized how much the small moments, the blocks, the routes, the subtle adjustments, add up to a collective triumph. He wasn't just participating. He was observing, processing, and internalizing lessons that would carry forward into the final stretch of the season. That level of awareness is what differentiates a player who executes plays from one who elevates the team. The offensive line was a force to be reckoned with, setting the tone for the ground game and providing Aaron Rodgers with the protection necessary to dissect the Dolphins' secondary. Dylan Cook, at left tackle, showcased the kind of consistency and technique that has become invaluable in high-pressure situations. His ability to anticipate rushers, maintain balance, and create space for running backs like Jalen Warren, Kenny Gainwell, and Caleb Johnson made the difference in sustaining drives and controlling the clock. The chemistry between Rodgers and his receivers also stood out. Every route, every adjustment at the line of scrimmage was executed with precision. Marquez Valdes-Scantling's touchdown was a perfect example of timing, awareness, and trust, the culmination of hours of practice distilled into a single, decisive moment. But it wasn't just the big plays. The steady accumulation of yardage, first downs, and clock management illustrated a team operating with purpose and awareness. Defensively, the Steelers demonstrated an intensity that rivaled the most physical matchups in the league. The hits delivered by Jalen Ramsey and Patrick Queen weren't just aggressive. They were strategic, forcing the Dolphins to rethink every step they took. Even without key players, the team maintained a structure that allowed them to pressure, contain, and ultimately dominate a unit that had been on a winning streak. Devin Akan, who had posed problems in prior contests, found opportunities limited by the disciplined execution of Pittsburgh's defenders. Every tackle, every pressure, and every interception attempt was a display of a defense that had studied its opponent meticulously and executed a plan to perfection. The Steelers' ability to absorb contact, respond, and continue advancing the ball illustrated not only physical toughness, but also mental resilience. It was a demonstration of a team that had learned to thrive under adversity and adapt dynamically to the flow of the game. Special teams added another layer of excellence, proving once again that every phase of the game contributes to success. Field positioning, returns, and key blocks were all handled with precision, enabling the offense and defense to operate with greater freedom and confidence. The synergy between these units created a momentum that was palpable in the stadium. The crowd responded immediately to each big play, reinforcing the sense of energy and determination on the field. Pittsburgh fans, long familiar with the highs and lows of the season, found themselves caught up in a wave of excitement and pride. The connection between players and supporters was more than symbolic. It became a driving force, energizing every snap and inspiring the team to reach deeper and push harder. Moments of brilliance were scattered throughout the game, reflecting a team that had learned to execute under pressure and seize opportunities when they presented themselves. Jonnu Smith's unexpected touchdown run, facilitated by misdirection and perfect timing, highlighted the creativity and adaptability that the Steelers were beginning to harness consistently. Darnell Washington's physical dominance in key moments underscored the importance of size, strength, and leverage in controlling the line of scrimmage and opening up critical lanes. Each running back contributed not only with rushing yards, but with a relentless attitude that emphasized grit, toughness, and the understanding that each play mattered. The team's ability to absorb hits, retaliate, and continue executing illustrated a philosophy that success comes from commitment to every individual battle, no matter how small. Coach Mike Tomlin's leadership was evident in every decision and adjustment. His willingness to adapt in critical situations, whether it was going for the tush-push or altering the offensive approach mid-game, reflected a coach fully engaged with the nuances of football strategy. Tomlin's influence wasn't limited to XS and OS. It extended to mindset and culture, shaping the players' approach to challenges both on and off the field. His guidance encouraged trust in one another, clarity in execution, and a relentless pursuit of improvement. Players responded with focus, intensity, and a visible determination to honor the coaching philosophy with every snap. The cohesion between staff and team created an environment where accountability and execution were paramount, and where success was measured not only by scores but by the alignment of preparation, effort, and results. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Steelers fans are buzzing with excitement and a hint of disbelief after reports surfaced that the team has struck a deal with Odell Beckham Jr., potentially reshaping the offense into a truly fearsome force. The rumor, which has sent social media into a frenzy, suggests that Pittsburgh may finally have assembled the kind of firepower that can strike terror into opposing defenses. Beckham, known for his spectacular catches, unmatched agility, and ability to turn a seemingly routine play into a highlight reel moment, could be the missing piece in a puzzle that has long frustrated fans hungry for a dominant offensive show. The idea of Beckham lining up alongside the Steelers' current core sparks the imagination. Could this be the era where the team's passing game reaches a level few defenses can handle? Analysts and insiders are already speculating about how the playbook might expand to exploit Beckham's versatility, from deep routes that test every cornerback's limits to quick, sharp cuts that turn short passes into explosive gains. Rumors suggest that Pittsburgh could be preparing to use him in creative ways that keep opponents constantly guessing, essentially creating a nightmare scenario for anyone trying to defend against them. While the deal is technically still a rumor, the mere possibility has reignited debates among fans and experts alike. Some envision Beckham as the centerpiece of a high-octane, highlight reel offense capable of lighting up stadiums week after week. Others caution that chemistry, injuries, and scheme fit will ultimately determine whether this speculation can translate into real dominance on the field. Regardless, the chatter has injected new energy into Steelers Nation, and ticket sales and merchandise buzz are reportedly climbing already. If true, this move could mark a bold statement by the Steelers, signaling that they are serious about shaking up the league and building an offense designed to intimidate, overwhelm, and thrill. Whether it remains a rumor or evolves into a blockbuster signing, the mere idea of Odell Beckham Jr. in Pittsburgh uniforms has already transformed fans' expectations and nightmares for defenses everywhere. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.